Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the tailboard of this pipeline style welding bed that we've been working on. We're gonna fit up everything from the bumper to the tail lights, the tag plate, even the spare tire access. Also, later in the video, I'll be showing you the custom bracket that I've built to install this backup camera on this 2022 Ford that we're building this welding bed for. Before we get started, I did want to let you know, for those of you that were interested in the brass spacing bands, they are now available on the AROSSWELDING website, and to celebrate the launch of the spacing bands, we are offering you 20% off of your order by using the discount code SLICKBAND, all one word and all caps. Apply that code and you'll get 20% off of your order, whether you order one spacing band or 100. This offer is only good until July 3rd, that's this next Monday if you're watching this video whenever it's first published. We're also offering free shipping for all orders over $99. So after you watch this video, head on over to AROSSWELDING.com. All right, now it's time to grab your coffee, kick back, and enjoy the video. So the first thing that I had to do was quarter some 8-inch pipe to match the 8-inch 90s at the bottom corners of the back of our welding bed. The only dilemma with this is after I got the quarter section cut out, the piece bowed, which is to be expected when cutting pipe out like this, especially with a torch. I tried fixing the problem by tacking some 1/4-inch plate together not straight and then clamping it to the pipe. That did not work, so instead I reached out to a buddy that's several years older than me, a lot more experience, a couple of buddies actually, and they were actually working down the road here. Welding school is how I know them. Is how I know JT. I met Chris later. But anyway, what they suggested, since my method wasn't working to get this banana out, what they suggested was either putting heat on this backside or welds. And as you can see here, I have put 32 MIG welds, and slowly but surely, this thing got straight. Now, obviously, I have a lot of sanding to do, but in my opinion, well worth it. While we're on the topic of worth it or not worth it, from my 15+ years of welding experience, it is totally worth it if you want to get into the industry, stay busy in the industry, or even continue to learn and grow in the industry. It is well worth it to build a network of other people who are interested in the same thing or are doing the same thing that you want to do or that you're doing. That is one of the reasons we created the AROSSWELDING Inner Circle. I'll be honest, the Inner Circle is a little slow right now, or at least in my opinion. Last I checked, there was just over 100 members that are in the Inner Circle. There's a handful of them, mostly mobile rig welders that I can tell, that are active, posting, liking posts, answering questions, sharing anything that projects that they're doing and whatnot. But there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is that the more people that join the Inner Circle, the more valuable the Inner Circle becomes to everyone who's in the Inner Circle. So if you're looking to build your network, socialize with others that are interested in the welding industry, check out the link in the description, AROSSWELDING Inner Circle. Let me know what you think. How long do you think that took? Oh, 40 to 45 minutes. All right, so I'm laying down here studying what we've got so far. I got my 2 mini jacks sitting here, and I'm right up against my spare tire, which I knew I'd be close, and I honestly thought I'd be a lot closer. I thought I was gonna have to trim off a lot more, like as far as around my spare tire, but I'm not gonna have to trim off but like an inch or so. After I trimmed out for the spare tire, I went ahead and put the same 1/4 inch plate that I was trying to fix the bow with on the back of the 8-inch piece of pipe, more or less for strength, because we will be installing a receiver hitch in the middle right underneath the tag of this tailboard. All right, so here's what we ended up with. As you can see here, I used the old trusty half clamp to line up the back skirt with the edge of our 1/4 8-inch pipe. Then it was time to pull the bed off the truck, which I was very excited about. Don't ask me why. I guess because I like lifting things with my A-frame? All right, we got her pulled out of the shop, fixing to pull this bed off on account of, to finish it up, do all the sanding. Finishing touches is what I'm gonna call it, but I wanna get it off the truck. To do all that, we're about to pull this bed off with the handy dandy A-frame. Fun fact here about the 2022 Ford, there's 8 bed bolts, and the 2, or I should say 4, middle bed bolts have backing plates with nuts included in them. So if you do unbolt a 2022 Ford dually 1-ton pickup bed, keep in mind that there's clips in here. On this particular job, I actually had to rebuild some clips because the bed come without the clips. I assume the customer must have lost them, but it wasn't any big deal. I was able to build some more. One of the nice things about the manual style of chain fall versus like a winch is because of what we're fixing to do here, which is we just need little movement and slowly but surely lift this thing off the truck. The idea is going to be to lift it up slightly and then shift it back away from the cab and then lift it up just far enough to clear everything, and then I'll pull the pickup out from underneath it. Right here, I'm just adjusting the chains. I'm moving the chains towards the cab of the pickup. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Next thing I gotta do is build a rolling cart. All right, now that we got our cart built, our bed on the cart, and our cart and bed wheeled in the shop, and after taking, I don't know, about an hour or so now of laying different options out, this is what I come up with. By the way, I got all my lights from the Wilkins Truck Supply. It's over close to Blackwell, Oklahoma. If you've never been to that truck show, me and my buddy Leo go quite a bit. He has a semi, he drives truck, and so he goes to this truck show. He knows the owners and stuff of Wilkins. But they're real good people up there, and as far as semi over-the-road trucking, they've got all kinds of chrome and all kinds of lights. But I've known about that place before I met Leo, and that's where I've always got my lights, because it's only about an hour from where we live. And that's where I've always got my lights for the couple of beds I built for my truck. So that's where I went. But I just wanted to mention them in case y'all are ever through Oklahoma. Check out Wilkins Truck Supply in Blackwell, Oklahoma. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I'm in a kind of a holding pattern with this tailboard. In the meantime, I started building the backup camera bracket. So I just called Stillwater Steel, called Kyle, my buddy up there at Stillwater Steel. I'm gonna have him break me a pan, if you will, for my license plate to be inset. So the license plate will just be 1 inch in depth set back. I got him breaking that, and I got him burning me some washers that'll fit our clearance lights. 1, 2, 3 clearance lights. And I also got him burning some washers that'll fit these tail lights, but also either fit the ID of this 6 5/8 pipe, or if he's got some 6-inch OD pipe, I'll like that even better, because for some reason I don't love that these are so big back here. They kind of look too big for this exact style of bed. So if he's got some 6-inch OD, I'm gonna try that. I'm also going to have him cut some, whatever size of pipe he has. If he has that 6-inch OD, I'm gonna have him use their bandsaw and cut 1-inch slivers of the 6-inch pipe. So they'll be 1 inch in, just like the license plate. And so everything will be set in, everything except this. This would be the spare tire access. It's literally just a hole in the back of the bed. On the stock bed, it's in the bumper, and it just allows you to stick the rod that comes with your portable jack that comes with the pickup, stick that rod through the hole to let the spare tire down. And my trailer plug will be set in 1 inch, ideally. Come take a look, see at what I did back here. Real simple what I did here. Put me a washer back here. All right, got all my washers tacked in. Cut some little pipes for my clearance lights, got them washers tacked in. Just welded the corners of this tag plate pan that Stillwater Steel broke for me. So I think that's the first thing I'm gonna put in is the tag. All right, now that we got our tag cut out, we're gonna cut our circles out here using the circle burner, Victor torch, straight torch attachment, and this brass block here with this rod is called the circle burner. You can find them in our online store, AROSSWELDING.com. So I made this hole the dimension of the inside of this pipe. So that way there wouldn't be any corner, the way it just looks real clean. I just couldn't wait. I had to go ahead and try out these grommets and these lights. couldn't wait, but also not a bad idea. Make sure everything fits before we get too far ahead. So these lights here should turn white for reverse, but then red for brake lights and running lights. That's what I like about them. All right, just took a zip disc, cut it here and here, and then took my torch, cut it across the top, and then cut it across the bottom, and then I got my camera bracket dry fit in there, if you will. All right, now let's take a look at all the set screws that I've now installed for the backup camera. All right, so I've drilled me a weep hole here, cut off our plate here. That way the water could come out the weep hole. I would like to think that stuff wouldn't build up right here, but it might, you know, as far as like dirt or rust over the years. But so I just loosened that set screw. Now I'm gonna loosen this one with a 7/16 wrench. Take this nut off, pull this plate off. And then one last thing is I cut a small piece of 1/8 by 3/4 plate, about yay long. And I just set right on the back of the camera. That way the set screw would hit on the back of that plate instead of the back of that plastic camera. So, and then if they ever have to replace the camera, roll it right out of there. Okay, I'm gonna leave the camera just like that until I get my lights hooked up and the camera hooked up to make sure I don't need to adjust anything. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out for the receiver, and we'll just do that with a torch, cut it out here and on the inside, and then we'll be ready to set that in and see what that looks like. And there it is, dry fit. I think I'll end up getting a 1/2" piece cut here to go around the edge just to make it look, I don't know, complete, professional, whatever you call it. And by the time we get a nice weld there and a nice weld there and put this around here, it ought to make it look a little hidden, I guess. But there it is. I will end up also trimming this corner off right here and right here. So all this will be laid back at an angle, the same angle as the camera, but I don't want to do that until after I get my lights hooked up and look at the camera to make sure it's oriented right. But there it is, there's the tailboard. Thanks for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Two things that I can think of that I personally learned on this tailboard. One of them being I should have waited to put the tag plate in because it was harder to reach the clearance lights. I actually had to ask my mother-in-law. She was over at the house the other day whenever I was working on this tailboard, and I was sitting there scratching my head and thinking like, how am I going to get these clearance lights in here? Because I couldn't be out here and look at them and tack them from the back because there's no welds on the front, everything's tacked on the back. So I thought I really need some help. So she was outside and I asked her to come give me a hand, and she was more than willing. So thank you. I don't think she watches these videos, but I'm glad she was here to help because it was super helpful just to have that extra hand. So that's one thing that I learned was the order of putting all this in. I would change that. The other is what you already know, which is how to get a bow out of a piece of pipe. Yes, it's a lot of work, but that is the kind of stuff that I love learning, because when you're in a situation where you're in a bind and you can't just go buy another piece of pipe, or you can't just buy a plasma, you know, there's situations as you learn and grow in the welding industry, any business at all, but there's phases in your experience where you can't do the more expensive option or the more enjoyable option. So sometimes it's nice to know tricks to get you out of a bind, just like I learned from my buddies. I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank them. Again, I don't think they watch these videos, but if you are, thank you for that advice. I sincerely appreciate it. It's gonna help me through the rest of my welding career, and I hope it helps those of you that are watching. Like I said earlier, if you're interested in building a network of other welders or other people in the welding industry, feel free to check out the AROS Welding Inner Circle. I honestly believe that the more people that join, if we can get tons of people to join, it'll be so much more valuable for everybody that's in there. It's ad-free. In other words, you can be scrolling through there and you're not gonna get an ad pop up like you would on Facebook or Instagram or something. So no ads. It is $5 a month. You can cancel anytime, but I highly, highly encourage you to join if you're looking to build a network or continue to grow in the welding industry. Also, don't forget about the sale we have going on the brass spacing bands. You can find both of these things on our website, AROSSWELDING.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome weekend. And most importantly, remember to learn something every day.
All right, we're underneath the welding bed. I'm just kidding, that's not me at all.